Class, this video is meant to give you some tips and hacks and suggestions to navigate your way through class in the best way possible. Our class is conducted via Canvas, but it is very close to the on-campus classes that I've taught in the past before COVID and all of that. The lights dim, PowerPoint slide lectures come up, and then I alternate with film clips. And that's more or less what you're going to be getting in our online class. This is 100% online, no Zoom. That means you can take this class anywhere on Earth, and I have had students take it from overseas, but you do need a reliable internet connection. Okay, that's very important. Anywhere on Earth with a reliable internet connection. So sometimes cruise ships in the middle of the ocean don't have good internet service, and sometimes if you are up in the mountains, same thing is true. I will not be opening quizzes early to accommodate anyone's extracurricular, that's a good one, extracurricular activities. Sorry about that. Try to modify your schedule as best you can, but we do have opportunities for late quizzes, and I'll talk about that later. The syllabus is our contract. Yes, it's a legal document. So that is in Canvas. It's right there, syllabus, okay? Look through it, okay? There are no pictures or anything like this fun video that we've got here, but it is a contract. And if there's a question about anything in class, this is what we're going to use to solve any questions that we might have. Also, please communicate with me through Canvas inbox. It's right there, inbox, right there on the side. This will help me to know what college. I teach at multiple colleges. I teach multiple classes, multiple sections of classes. So if you communicate with me through inbox, that will help me to know who you are. Announcements are important. Please read them. Important information will be relayed to the entire class in announcements. It's right there on your sidebar. So make sure that you check into class often and start by reading the announcements. Class discussions will be conducted in announcements as well, not in discussions. I have them sort of blanked out. I'm not going to be using discussions. They're going to be right there in announcements. So that's where you need to check for class discussions. In notifications, under account, there's notifications. You can set it to get reminders, emails, and that sort of thing for discussions, quizzes, assignments, comments, and all of that right in there. So you can check that out, content, files, grading, submissions, discussions, and all of that. So that's a great idea. And I highly recommend you go into your account and notifications and set that up. There is a very detailed class schedule in the syllabus. So this is the class calendar right here. These will have actual dates. This is not for our class. This is a prior semester, but you'll get the dates on here where things are. So if you want to look ahead, you don't want to just rely on Canvas to remind you what's coming up today or tomorrow or this week, then go to your class schedule and you can find all of that. The whole semester is right there. Don't put 100% of your trust in Canvas. It's not a good idea. I get students all the time, oh, professor, I didn't know. I thought the final date was the date it was due, not the last day to turn it in and that sort of thing. So I would recommend getting a good old-fashioned wall calendar. Okay, they're around, they're great. Put it somewhere in your office or in the kitchen or somewhere where you're going to see it all the time. And it's a good heads up. It really is. It's a great heads up. I know I have my phone and my computer and all that. I have everything digital, but I also like a nice wall calendar where I can see things multiple times a day. It really does help. Each class module will take about as much time as an in-person on-campus class would take. So module 4 on whatever class you're taking, whatever module we're up to, basically there's going to be about 2 hours, two and a little bit, depending on how many breaks you take and that sort of thing. I transcribed this class as close as I could from the online class, where I would come to campus and put the slides up and show film clips to the online class. And it's very similar. It's very, very similar to that class, and that's about how much time it'll take. So don't wait to the night before a quiz to start studying. It's, you're going to be pulling an all-nighter. So, there's 4 or 5 modules for each quiz. The modules used to be called class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. So basically think of it as a class or a week. Take your time. Don't cram. I think that's the best advice I can give you for pacing yourself. Modules will be opened in batches that correspond to the quizzes. So when we start class, there will be 4, or I can't remember how many are in the first quiz, 4 or 5. And then the day after quiz 1 is given, all the modules for quiz 2 will then be opened. So they're going to be in batches. I don't want anybody getting too far ahead and maybe studying for a module that's not on the quiz or anything like that. So the modules and the batches will be matched by the quiz. So the class is more or less self-paced, right? You can, if you decide you want to cram all the modules a day or two before the quiz, that's your choice. But the quizzes and the assignments have due dates, okay? And there are penalties for not getting work done in time. And we'll get into that in a little bit. So check into class regularly, announcements, all that good kind of stuff. All the clips in our modules are linked. So here's our modules right there, and there's a nice long list as we saw, and they're linked right there to YouTube. So it's a nice direct link. I like YouTube because, first off, all the material we have is fairly well taken care of. The engineers at YouTube are very good. They're good at keeping everything up and running and all of that. So I like YouTube taking care of most of my class for me. Canvas does a good job, but our class really revolves around these videos and the modules and all of that. And that's all videos. I don't have papers for you to read or anything like that. If you see this message, okay, I don't know if I have this one. This is just a nice example, the D-Day landing from Saving Private Ryan, and it'll say watch on YouTube. Okay, this particular one is age restricted, and it's R. Don't worry, it's nothing weird. It's on YouTube. But anyway, if you click on watch on YouTube, immediately this will come up. Okay, it just takes you right there. Very nice. So click on that, no problem. All my lectures and module clips and all the docs have closed captioning, and that's very helpful. So maybe I talk too fast, maybe English isn't your first language, maybe in one of the film clips or documentaries somebody has an accent that maybe you have trouble understanding, and if you click on the little CC at the bottom, then you get a pretty good representation written out there, closed captioning. Subtitling, by the way, is when the language is not, if it's in our class, it would be not English. So if it's in Spanish or something like that, then we would get subtitles. Closed captioning is the same language that's on the screen. Okay, don't want to nitpick there, but anyway, we have closed captioning for everything, and that should help you out. But if we do get video unavailable, and that happens sometimes on YouTube, I wish it didn't happen, but it does. Here we have a copyright claim by somebody. Then take the title of the clip in the module. It'll say what it is, and you just go to YouTube. You've been to YouTube hundreds of times. Go to the search bar, type in the scene that's missing, and there's another one right there. I'm not sure why somebody takes their clip down and immediately almost the exact same clip appears on YouTube, but that's what happens. So you can find it on your own, and then let me know, right? Go to inbox, let me know, and then I'll fix it for everybody else. But sometimes I might not be able to fix it for you for maybe an hour or two, and you're ready to study right now, and you don't want to wait for somebody to fix something. So find it yourself. Easy to do, you know YouTube, and then let me know. We have 7 podcast assignments. I think they're really good. I keep them as up to date as I can. They are 15 points each, and there's 1 My Media assignment. We'll get to that in a little bit. These are pretty good podcasts. Here on our 3rd assignment, we see that there are 4 stories. Okay, there are 4 stories. There's URLs and all of that. And you will just listen to the story and you will summarize it. Okay, and here's the directions and everything. It's very easy. 425 word minimum. You put it into Canvas there. I don't want documents or anything like that or links. I just want you to copy and paste your paper right in there, and you listen to them, and it comes up. There's 16 minutes plus 15 plus 9 plus 30. Okay, so you know it's close to an hour, and then at the end, the last thing you do for every single assignment is a personal reflection. Not 2, just 1. Sorry about that. You do a personal reflection about what you think about these things, and put that in too, right? That's part of every assignment, so don't forget to do that. And so here's a format for an assignment. Okay, I think this is the movie one. And so there's the first one and the second one. This one only had 2 stories. Some of them will have more stories. Okay, we see that this other assignment here on paper number 3 has 4 stories. And on this one, there's only 2 stories. But basically, this is 30, this is 37. So they'll come to close to an hour, no matter how many stories there are. So do every story and a personal reflection on the whole batch, not on every story. You don't have to do it on every story. Just like that, right? And what you need to do after you submit your story is check in the next day and see how you did. Okay, it's worth 15 points. Did you get 15 points? If you didn't get 15 points, then I will tell you why. Okay, short of the 425 word minimum, maybe you missed a story, who knows what, and you'll have 1 week to revise and resubmit. Isn't that nice? Okay, so you can fix it. I will tell you what to do, and you go in and you fix it. There's no reason that you shouldn't get full credit on all of the assignments. Okay, you really should. You get 2 tries. Basically, you get 2 tries. So, get it in there. Most people get right on the first try, but if you don't, I'll tell you what you did wrong. Okay, it's too short. You missed a story. Who knows? Those are the main things. And you get another try. So as long as you get them in on time. Now, there's no fixing late papers. We don't have time travel yet. So there's no fixing a late paper. But anything else, you can fix it within a week. It's got to be within a week. And then you can revise and resubmit. Okay? No late papers. We have 1 bigger assignment, My Media assignment. It's 50 points. Most of this is going to be done. You're going to keep track of your internet usage and so on, but your phone or your laptop or your desktop can do most of that for you. Okay, and that's a little bit bigger. It's 50 points. Now, all the directions are in the syllabus and in the assignment. Same thing in both. This is a nice example. You're keeping track of a time. I think a chart or a grid of some sort works best. Just writing it in sentence form really doesn't work. So you can find some sort of a grid like this. This is the one assignment that you can do a PDF and submit that, because it's kind of hard to do these grids just in most Word documents. So this is the one where you can do a PDF, and I will open that file. Otherwise, I don't really want files. We have 3 timed quizzes. They are 40 minutes per quiz. This is plenty of time if you know the material. If you don't know the material, then 2 hours isn't enough time because you don't know. So if you study hard, study for an hour or two, okay, you can do it. Study hard, study the PowerPoint slides and all of that. And 40 minutes, students that do well on quizzes take well under 40 minutes. Usually they're 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes when they get an A. Students that know the material, that get like 90%, something like that, then they never take 40 minutes. Okay, and really, frankly, if you don't know it, you don't know it. You can sit there for an hour and the answer's not going to come to you. Sometimes the answer might come to you in a few minutes, but quizzes will be based primarily on my PowerPoint class lectures. Okay, so this is what they look like, just like what you're watching right now. And so here is one when we talk about movies, and take good notes, study them. We have a few dates, not too many. People always ask about dates. Here you see the date, it's right there in the PowerPoint. 1927, Sound Air Begins. That's a key date. There's a few dates, not that many, 5, 6, 7 out of all 3 quizzes, but not every single date, just kind of the big ones. And here, 1934, the production code is in effect. It would be another one. I would say Sound 1927. That's a date that's probably going to pop up. If you have an afternoon or evening job, think about taking the quiz before you go to work rather than after work when you're tired. I get students all the time. They sometimes they're asked to work late. They come home. They think they're going to take a short nap before the quiz, and then they fall asleep and all of that, and they panic and all of that. So first off, try to take it before you go to work. Second off, if you don't take the quiz, you can take it late. You can take it late. It's not, you lose 5 points. You lose 5 points. That's not going to kill you out of 100. Okay, so just take it the next day. I'm going to open it up the next morning at 9 a.m. or something like that. Just take the quiz late. Okay, don't take it at 11:30 when you don't have 40 minutes to do the full quiz. I get students, they think they're going to take it in 15 minutes, 11:45. What's the point? Don't do that. Just wait until the morning. Okay, you'll be fine. I cannot give individual students extra quiz time without official college authorization. We have support services, DSPS, and so on. You can contact them. It's right there on the college website. Or you can ask me for help, and I'll do a screenshot and show you where it is. They will assess you, okay, and then they'll get back to me. But it can't be just everybody saying, Professor, I need more time, Professor, I need more time. It needs to go through the college. Okay, it's not. They're very friendly people. They're very nice, and make friends with the people over there, and they'll help you right out. If you're taking it at home, we're going to talk about other ways to take the quiz, but if you take it at home, tell everybody you're taking a quiz, right? Close the door or whatever you have to do. Tell everybody to be quiet, your roommates and everything, and empty your bladder. Or you can't pause the quiz. There's no way to pause the quiz at all. It's impossible to pause the quiz once you start it. Okay, it's going to go. So, and no notes, no books, nothing like that, no internet, all that, just like we're in the classroom. Okay, sit down for up to 40 minutes, and that's the only way to stop the quiz, for the clock to run out at 40 minutes. Then it will stop on its own. Okay, so just like we were in a classroom. If you have spotty internet reception at home, or maybe you have a noisy family or noisy roommates or who knows what, go to a library. College libraries, here's a couple of college libraries. Go to a college library and take it there. They have great Wi-Fi. They have computers too. You can take it on one of their computers. And I highly recommend college libraries. Okay, with either your own computer, laptop. You're not going to bring your desktop to the library, but for your own laptop or tablet, that's a one of the best pieces of advice I can give you. And they're quiet, they have few distractions, good service. Coffee shops too, but coffee shops can be really noisy and everything. But usually they do have free Wi-Fi. So think, unless you are guaranteed to have a nice quiet place to take a quiz at home, think about taking, it's only 3 quizzes, okay? Think about taking your quizzes in a library. They will be opened on the scheduled day, which is midnight basically, and they will close 24 hours later. And you got 40 minutes in those 24 hours. So, you know, professor, I had to do this or I had to do that. You didn't have to do it for 24 hours. You had to visit somebody in the hospital for an hour or two, or, you know, there was a wedding or a birthday or who knows what. But the quiz is open for 24 full hours. So there's very little that keep you away from taking a quiz for 24 full hours. Study hard, 40 minutes will be just fine. If you can't start, I said this before, it's very important, don't, unless you want to take it at the very last minute, 11:20, then wait until morning, okay? It's 5-point penalty, and you'll do much better than rushing and panicking and not using the full 40 minutes, or you're really tired from work, or all of that. So just take it in the morning. Late point penalties, 5 points for the first day late, then it drops down to 2 points each additional day for 1 week. Okay, now this is important. At 1 week, you will have a 17-point penalty, and be careful. And if you take longer than a week, you will be dropped. Okay, because there's no longer than a week. You have to take it within those 8 days, or you get automatically dropped from class. Okay, no question about it. That's too long to be away. I'm not going to just keep deducting late point penalties and all that sort of thing. So the first quiz and the second quiz must be taken. You have to take them. Okay, and you have 8 days to take the quiz. Take it on the due date, and you get at least full credit. But if you're a day late, it's not going to kill you. But every day after that, you know, you're going to be down. Okay, and if you take the full 8 days, then you're 17 points down. That's almost 2 grades down. When a quiz is opened, even if by accident the quiz clock will start, you cannot stop the quiz clock even if you want to. You can't. Okay, it's not like you're not allowed to. You physically cannot. You can power down your computer and throw it in the ocean. It will not stop the quiz clock. Okay, so be very careful. When you're ready to go, open it. I don't know if the directions start the clock or not, but I would be very careful. You can't take a peek. Okay, you can't take a peek at the quiz. The clock starts. And it'll shut down at 11:59, even if you're still taking it. Okay, even if you're still taking it, your 40 minutes aren't up, but it will stop at 11:59. You had 40 minutes within 24 hours, and you missed it. Okay, so don't do that. Wait till morning. Okay, wait till morning. You can't if you can't finish the quiz at night. That's it. You don't get another crack. Like I only use 15 minutes of my quiz time. I still have, you know, more time left. Or no, you don't. You get your one shot at the quiz, and that's it. So if you can't finish it, you don't get to take it. You don't get to continue in the morning. And again, there they are, 5 points, first day late, 2 each additional day for 1 week. It's only fair. It's only fair, okay? Of course, I understand unforeseen events, hospitalization for sure, and there are a few others. I'm not going to address all the ones that I've heard, and I can tell when it's a legitimate ask and when it's not. Let me know. Usually I just ask for some kind of, like this, like a picture. Okay, just a picture. Take a selfie or something in the hospital, and then I'll know. Case by case basis. So I'm not going to just say this is what it is. If you have to go to the whatever to get stitches in your finger, that doesn't take 24 hours. So, you know, a visit to the doctor, usually I'm not sure that's reason enough. Extra credit. Okay, we've had quizzes. Now we have extra credit. It's right there. It's optional. It's not required. That's why it's extra credit. Okay, it's not required to do, and it's fun. I try to make it kind of fun. I don't want you just writing more papers. There are some papers you can just write, some documentaries and movies and things you can watch for 200 words, but you're already writing 7 assignment papers. So I thought it'd be fun. Go out and see Hollywood. We're lucky here to live in Southern California. This is some movie type things you can do. This is the Hollywood experience, I call it. And this is the world famous Chinese theater. They were naming theaters. There's an Egyptian theater we're going to see, and there's a Mayan theater, and a bunch of different theaters they built in the 1920s. Okay, the first golden age of the cinema. They're building these big picture palaces. We talk about it in class, picture palaces and all that. This is the Chinese theater. It is wonderful. There are handprints and so on in the cement up here. There's the Walk of Fame, that sort of thing. That's fun on Hollywood Boulevard, right out front, Hollywood and Highland. There's the just down the street. There's the Egyptian Theater, and across the street there's the El Capitan. So Hollywood's a cool place to see stuff. You can see the Hollywood sign. That's kind of fun too in that area. Across town, this would be a separate experience. The Academy Museum, Motion Picture Academy. It's a ton of fun. It opened just a couple years ago. I love it. Here's my wife and I at the Academy Museum. Where we're standing here is here. Okay, there's a big open air sort of a thing. This is where they have receptions and things like that. I haven't been invited to any receptions yet. It would be kind of cool to go, I think. And then the streets over there, Main Street. There's another museum right next door to it, the County Museum. So here's C-3PO, R2-D2, C-3, I get mixed up. And wonderful stuff. It's a really cool museum. There's tons of stuff there. Here is the ruby red slippers. Originally they were going to be silver. I think I talked about that a little bit in class. I'm not sure. They sell for millions of dollars. It seems like a pair sold recently for in the millions of dollars. The last time they sold for the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now they're up to millions. So anyway, but there's a pair there. There's the Rosebud sled from Citizen Kane. Lots of cool stuff. Oscars, and they have little documentaries, and it's a really cool place. I love it. There's Sammy at Universal Studios. You need to take the tram tour because that's the backstage stuff. It's not just going on the Simpsons ride. You need to see the backstage stuff. That's why it's allowed for extra credit. And the Warner's tour is also good because it's for extra credit. So it's not just Knott's Berry Farm or something. It's not just for amusement parks, but it needs to be related to our big section on movies and so on. Drive-in theater experience is a ton of fun. We're lucky to still have some here in Southern California. I grew up many years ago in the drive-in era, and there was a drive-in less than a mile from my home in Michigan. Drive-ins aren't open very long in the upper Midwest there. June, July, August, and September, that's about it. Here, they're open all year round. They are a ton of fun to go to. You can see these cars are backed in. People are going to get in the back of these SUVs. Backs of pickup trucks are going to bring bedding and pillows and all sorts of stuff. You listen to it on your, they're going to tell you what to tune in on your FM radio. They have a nice big snack place there with pizzas and full-on meals and things like that. You can bring your own food in. You want to stop at Subway and get a big old foot-long sandwich, you can bring that in too. They don't care. You can bring a beach chair, sit outside if it's a nice warm night. It is so much fun. Now grading. After all your assignments and your quizzes and your extra credit, there's grading. This is not your grade. This is not your grade. We do not grade on percentage in my class. I grade on points. I grade on points, okay? Points. And there's a reason for points and not for percentage because the grades are weighted, okay? If you have 100% on a 15-point quiz, you get 15 points. If you have on a 100-point quiz, you have 85 points, okay? They're weighted. Quizzes and assignments and all that are weighted. So an A is 390. That's an A, 390 points, not 90%. Okay, so this is on page 1 in your syllabus. A lot of students get confused. All your lives, all your school lives, your educational lives, you've been beaten into your poor head. 90% is an A, 80%. You know, in grad school, it might take 95% for an A. Okay, it depends on where the scale is. People can throw the scale. 90% is not magical. It wasn't handed down like a tablet. Okay, it's 90% is not an A worldwide. Okay, I know most of your lives 90% is an A. In our class, it's 390 points and 330 for a B and so on. So you're really trying to get as many points as you can. And importantly, the last quiz is about 3 days before the last day of the semester. What does that mean? That means that after you get your quiz, you can check your points. And if you're a few points away from the next grade, you've got 385 points, you can do extra credit. You got 3 days to do extra credit. Okay, I put that in specifically to help people out. So you've got 3 days to check your grade points, right? Go online, go find your grade. How many points do you have? You can go back and I don't even know if this is from our class, but you can go and find your points. This looks like it's from a different class, but you can find how many points you have. And then you can say, okay, there's 15 points I can get. Okay, 15 points, 3 extra credit papers, 5 points each. Go to Hollywood, who knows what, do a paper, do a movie, do a documentary, something like that, and boost yourself up. Now, sadly, Professor, I get this. I don't like to be Mr. Maney, but I'm just 5 points away. Can I do another extra credit paper? Can I please, can I do another extra credit paper? Can I do the 4th one or the 5th one? And there aren't 4 or 5, there's 3. And my reply, in all fairness, I'd have to give everyone else in the class the same opportunity, right? I have to start sending out announcements and things and telling everyone else they get more time. Sunday's not the last day of class. 3 is not that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to do that, okay? Everybody's equal in my classes, and those are your chances, right? That's our contract. The contract says that, and we're going to follow the contract. It's actually a pretty lenient class. It's not that hard to get an A or a B in my classes. Multiple choice quizzes are not that hard. You still have to study, but you know, you can get an A or B in my class, but just, you know, stay on top of things. Stay on top. Check into class as often as you can. And the textbook is recommended. It's not required. I suspect most students do not buy the textbook. They're pretty expensive. You know, they're all $100. I think we even have a podcast on why textbooks cost so much. So you'll hear through a podcast about that. But they do help, right? I think they reinforce the knowledge. They deepen your knowledge. They're all there in words and so on, not just in my PowerPoint slides and so on. So they can help, but I think you can do just fine in class without purchasing the textbook. They are kind of expensive. Save your money for a class where you have to take the text, you have to get the textbook there. I know there are classes you cannot possibly pass the class because all the assignments are in the textbook. Save your money, save your $100 for that class, business class or accounting or something like that, or biology, and that's my gift to you. So that's me, Professor Echols. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy class. I love teaching it.